Hi, it's Doug from Rise Above Performance Training. Today I'm going to go over some technique on how to bench press properly. Now there's a lot of articles and videos out there about how to increase your bench press weight, and that's what people seem most concerned about. Different wave loading patterns with the weight and arching a lot. But I'm going to just show you with technique you can increase your weight as well, and I think setting up with a good foundation is key in moving up in weight and also keeping everything safe and strong, especially your shoulder joints. Now this is for strength and conditioning purposes. It's not necessarily for huge power lifters that need to compete. Their technique's going to be a little bit different. So the first thing is the setup. When you set up, you definitely want your feet on the ground. There'll be a lot of people you'll see with their feet on the bench because they think they need to keep their back flat. This may work for a little bit lighter weight, but what happens, your hips aren't stable and everything's going to move around, and you're not going to have the support from the legs to keep your body stable and also drive the bar up. You actually want to push your feet through the floor when you're pressing. So the first thing I'm going to do is just I'm going to get my feet in the right spot. Some people like to be on their toes. I like to have my flat foot here. The second thing is we're going to line up my eyes with the bar. Some people are way back here. It depends on your bench, but when you're benching, you could hit the pin. So I'm going to be a little bit forward from the bar and have my eyes lined up. The next thing is the hand grip. Now, that's a matter of personal preference. Some people like a wider grip because the bar path is a lot shorter and they're able to push up more weight and they feel stronger there. Some people like a narrow grip, use a little bit more triceps and they're able to tuck their elbows close. I prefer right in the middle. So if you see there's a ring on the bar here and then there's the beginning of the knurling, I usually have my pinky finger just right around the ring. Now what I tell people to think about is if you're going to pushing somebody that's pretty heavy, you're not going to push way out here, you won't be strong enough. You're going to push probably right in this zone here, you're going to be your strongest. So that's kind of that grip you want. So again, I get my feet, line up my eyes, and then I put my pinky right in here. This is where I feel comfortable. Some people like a false grip, which is wrapping around here. But I prefer here, especially for beginners. If you're a powerlifter and you know what you're doing, you can wrap here, but it's also a little bit dangerous in terms of dropping the bar, especially if you don't have a spotter. And I'll explain why I like it better as well. The next thing, when you go to unrack the bar, we're gonna pull our shoulder blades together. So what it's gonna look like, I'm gonna retract my shoulder blades and actually sit on the bench like this. I want 2 points of contact on my shoulders, and I'm gonna lock them in there. They're not gonna move. When you see people bench pressing and their shoulders are all over the place, or they say they hurt their shoulders because their shoulders aren't pinched back. So I'm going to suck my shoulder blades together and keep them locked down. So feet, eyes, grip, suck the shoulder blades together. So when I get that, I'm ready to lift. Now, when you lift, we're going to do two things. We're going to squeeze tight. So I'm going to squeeze my butt tight. Because I have my shoulder blades pinched back together, there's going to be a little bit higher arch in the back here. That is okay. I just got to keep my butt tight because that keeps my hips stable. If I loosen it up, it's going to wobble all over the place. So keep your butt tight, legs strong, and that'll protect that. The other thing I'm going to squeeze is the bar, and that's why I like the thumb around grip. When I squeeze the bar, I have tension, and I'm able to lift a lot more weight. If I'm here, I have trouble squeezing the bar really tight when my hands are here, and like I said, it's a little bit dangerous. For here, it's a little stronger, and we can really squeeze. The next thing is thinking about, I tell my athletes, compressing a spring. So you'll see kids in commercial gyms just bounce everything off their chest and then try to push it up. So it's very fast going down to the chest, and then they try to push the bar. What I like to have them do is control the bar down as if they're compressing a spring, rowing the bar down at the back and squeezing up. So again, set up, feet, eyes, grip, butt tight, pinch. Now, I'm going to grip, get my elbows in, and compress the spring nice and slow. When I get that stretch, I keep my tension and squeeze up. So again, control down. I don't let my tension out and drive up. So you're going to control down the chest by pulling. You don't let your air out, or else everything will sink. So control down and drive up. The last thing we want to think about is pressing in a straight line. I used to press a little bit backwards towards the rack, and I learned that this isn't the best way for strength. You want to push more in a straight line. It is common to have a spotter to kind of go back a little bit, and some people like powerlifters tend to drive maybe a little bit backwards, but they have these high arches. But what I do is now I pick a line kind of on the ceiling above me, focus on that line, and then try to keep my bar path as straight as possible so there's no excessive movement forward and back. That keeps my elbows tucked as well. You'll see someone with heavy weight, if they get scared, they'll flare their elbows out. That puts a lot of pressure on the shoulders and they're trying to get it back that way. I'm going to keep my elbows tucked and keep everything in a straight line so everything's strong in here. So last time, feet down, eyes, grip, butt tight, pinch the shoulder blades. I'm going to row down, drive up, straight line. Control down, squeeze in the bar, drive up. Everything's tight and compressed. So there you have it. Now if you're doing more weight and all of a sudden you're trying these new techniques, you're probably going to have to drop the bar weight down. You might even feel yourself getting a little bit weaker as a result. But I guarantee you, if you stabilize everything, you're going to be stronger in the long run. So work this technique, keep your shoulders safe, and have fun bench pressing.